Yeah, good. You are good to go.
We are live?
Yes.
We're live.
We are live. Let's hit on.
Hello.
Hey everyone.
Good day. How is everyone?
Yeah, how is everybody?
Doing pretty good. Can't wait. What's happening next week?
I don't know what's happening next week.
What is happening?
Someone coming to town?
Someone in a red suit, I think.
Oh,
Who's that man with the bag? What is that song again?
oh yeah, I don't know that. Song. I don't know
Anyways,
that song.
happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Holidays.
Almost there. Joey will have his first Christmas in New York.
Yes, and I've been asking Santa for snow, and yesterday I saw New Year's Eve we might have snow, but then again today it changed again. So with no snow. So.
Well, if you want to come up and stay with us to Syracuse, there I saw a white Christmas.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah, let's hope that the highway stays okay.
Yeah.
For our,
Your
our
travels.
sleigh driver.
Exactly.
So that our reindeer can get
I think-
through. Route 81. Clear it out.
I think it will be good.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
But until then, we have to do a little bit more work, a little bit more creating.
Yes.
Great haircuts and great hair colors and
Yeah.
styling, of course. So
I've got to tell you though, dudes, I call it out like it is. I'm looking at my own crazy freaking hair that's growing out here.
yeah,
And I look like I'm wearing a mop. So it's definitely it's not camera. My in-between is not camera ready because it looks a lot better in person, although it is still in transition.
You're just feeling a little
we'll get there.
70s
Well, when you-
today.
when you-
Oh, I love 70s and I love
when
mullets,
you
but
hear Joan Jett in your head,
Oh,
when
yeah.
looking at Mariana, then that's a good
But
thing,
it doesn't
right?
look like this. It doesn't look like this at all. It looks like just
keep shushing and it's gonna be
okay.
fine.
We'll
Exactly.
shush. We'll get there. We'll get there.
The
It's
music
growing.
will change. Yeah.
So I know. I always say, don't be hating.
No.
So speaking of hating,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I've been trying to bring kindness back. I said especially since I moved to this location in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Especially then.
Oh yeah.
Because when we moved here from our prior location, we had a lot of stress. We have even more now, but it's different stress. But in 2010, I every art opening, I would say, I'm really just trying to bring kindness back. What happened to kindness and, listening and speaking and just being a nice person? What happened to that, right? We went from everyone being kind and the miserable wait staff person was a fly again. We have a pet on set all
I
the
think
time.
it is a drone. I'm
It's a
convinced
drone.
it's
No,
an agent.
But we went from noticing a person who was kind of miserable at their job in a fabulous restaurant, whether it was dining or an Italian nice sit-down place, to noticing the person who is nice, right? I don't like that has happened. We should mostly be nice most of the time. And by nice, I don't mean be a wuss. I just mean be kind, hold the doors, and when someone does, say thank you. It's not a given.
Exactly.
Whether you have a stroller or a kid in your arms or bags or you're young or you're old, it's a nice thing to do. Now, we shouldn't do things to be thanked. You shouldn't give a gift to get one,
No.
right?
Always
So
do it out of kindness.
I think we just need to reconnect with reality
Yeah,
and
bring
say
the-
this is what's going on,
Bring
right?
the love back and don't attack people, right?
Yes.
That's not a good way.
I mean,
Yeah.
I understand where you guys are going. I mean, when I was younger, in my 20s, of course, when you are younger, you kind of don't want to care about it. When I'm an adult now and I know everything, and you almost are like, it's my world, and you kind of become a little more selfish sometimes. There are some people who have done that, and I used to not hold doors. I used to kind of pick at people. But with going through certain situations in my life, it's made me realize, actually doing nice things actually helps myself
Yes.
too.
Yes.
And that's the biggest thing.
Yes.
It changes your
absolutely.
mentality.
Yes.
It makes you realize that people are human and other people have feelings too,
Yes.
not just you.
It's the
I've said
gift
this before.
that keeps on giving.
You can
Yes.
smile to someone as you leave your apartment. 30 seconds out into the world, right, of the day. You can smile at a complete stranger and that person may have a completely different day because of it, right? Just like you can walk out your door as someone's walking in and you can nudge them out of your way and that will set their tone. Because I always talk about variables when I coach. So I think, again, it comes down to, you know, what are your set of variables? And before we respond, make sure we know where someone is at. So that's kind of a nice lead in to, you wanted to talk about next year, you wanted to talk about this year, and I just wanted to talk. So who wants to take it?
Well, let's think the year that's happened first, and then let's go on with the future.
Yeah, no, I mean we had a of course always, you know, every year is a great year. We have the ups and the downs, and
well, you have the rain and the sun.
That's
what
what makes
that's
what
right.
makes that's what makes the ups so good.
The rain grows the flowers.
But no, we had a great year, and very, very thankful for that. And couldn't have done it with so many great talents that we introduced, that we worked with this year, and hopefully work with, you know, next year on all in all areas. If it was hair, if it was fashion, if it was on the art end. I mean, just so many great moments that we were able to share with so many other people. So I'm looking forward to next year, and I also look forward to maybe having, you know, people realize a little bit more the moment, be present, be in the moment, and yeah, and also take that as a way to find out about what's really happening. And I'm saying that because, you know, these preconceived notions that we all have sometimes, you know, it's like when we hear something, we see something, and instantly something happens, right? In your brains, like we think of something. May it be good or may it be bad, and those are all these, you know, preconceived notions, maybe of something we heard from the past, right? But maybe somebody, an experience we had ourselves. And, but I think it's important to really find out yourself, go to the source, talk to people directly, go to places directly, because I think in this digital world, sometimes everything is made to be one way or another.
It guides you to something,
yeah,
right?
it can be manipulated so easily, and made it be in the political forum or maybe in a business. When it comes to business especially, I think we want to be trailblazers, right? We want to be people that, I'm going to go there, I'm going to find out myself, I'm going to talk to these people, I'm going to do it myself, and then go with that.
Exactly.
You know, because
I think we
make
can
your
all
happiness.
relate. We can all relate. Like, you've always in life. I think we've all been in the position where you meet someone, right? I've done theater since I was 15 years old, right? So you meet people and you're in group settings a lot, and then your group changes. But in theater, whatever town you're in, wherever you're coming up in theater, there's a lot of the same people. You see a lot of the same people at the auditions. You end up, you know, a company is a company.
Yeah.
Everyone's very familiar, at least for a few years, right? Till people move on and do other stuff. And within that, eventually, just like maybe a high school clique, I never had a high school clique. I had kind of like a theater clique. I had a few people I hung out with in high school that we went roller skating all the time. Hello, Denise! Right? So that was a good time, but I'm talking about the larger your group is, the more apt you are to stumble upon that person who all of a sudden says, oh, you hang out with that person, I don't because. So I've always tried to be respectful of my relationship with friend A, and explain that person B, thank you for making me aware. I've never really had an issue, and I'm not sure what the chemistry there was, you know, what happened. Some people are just argumentative when you put them in a room, right? Some stuff is astrology, some stuff is, you know, you were lovers and now you're haters. I mean, I don't know how else to say it.
It's like oil and water.
Stuff, right? Stuff happens, and not everyone. You have siblings that love each other and want to do everything together, and then you have siblings who just cannot stand the sight of each other for periods of time. So I don't understand what it is, but I do know that I try to listen, be respectful, and then state where I stand with friend or acquaintance B, and yet make my own determination, right? You have people that are like, oh, I wouldn't trust him with a grain of salt. Okay, so don't give him salt. Have a laugh in the moment. Leave. You don't have to share phone numbers. You don't have to hang out one-on-one.
But be respectful.
Be respectful, right? And if you really can't stand the sight of someone, then you remove yourself.
Exactly.
You know, I've excused myself. There was one dinner in particular a long time ago where we had planned a dinner with very close friends, and then someone else was coming, and she and I were definitely oil and water, and it doesn't happen very often. But my friends chose the place, and I was like, you know what, guys? I didn't lie, because I don't do that, but I said, this is kind of how I feel about it. That space itself is going to be too confined. It may feel slightly awkward, and I just don't feel like walking on eggshells tonight. I'm so sorry, but we'll do something another time. And they went on, and we went on, and both of our evenings were fine.
Good.
And I think when you come around to that place, you know. But I think with everything that we hear in the news, right, this is kind of where this came out of with you today. We don't need to be specific or draw any on one side or the other. We try to remain neutral because we have friends that, you know, are vote for everybody. And I do want to say that it is true, right? Just because someone says something is real or something is fake, it's kind of, you still have to go into yourself, and you still have to investigate, and you have to do your own research, your own due diligence, and say, wait a minute, I hear what you're saying, but
yeah, don't jump to conclusions
Yeah.
too fast. You know, we all tend to do that sometimes, and I don't think that's, you know, that's right. Just take a step back, and again, you know, if you can find out more information, like if you can find out yourself more, you know, just and then also get all the information, and I think that's where Mariana is always, you know, she's so good in sort of like looking at it from all angles and putting in sort of you know, the idea of, oh, wait a minute, this could be because of that, and she's reviewing or she's analyzing it first before jumping to conclusions. I think Mariana's giving the benefit of the doubt so many times, and she also gathers information first and then makes decisions, or she's, you know, like, that's how she's doing it, and I sometimes wish I could be like that a little bit more.
Well, I mentioned the John Pierpont, the Jingle Bell writer,
Yes.
a long time ago, and I said that I read that little short story in several books of short stories by Robert Fulghum, who was big way back, right, when I first moved here in the late 80s, early 90s. And another short story in there, just saying this exact thing. I think this is why I don't I don't have the time to sit and read a novel, right? There are many things that interest me, but I don't have the time to sit and read a book. By the time I pick it up again, I have to start from the beginning again, because I've forgotten, and I don't have the imagery, because I paint every scene, right? But Robert Fulghum's books, he had several that came out in a short period of time. They're all short stories. So they may be 4 pages, they may be 14 pages.
An easy read.
For me to read it. One of those stories talked about a subway car scene. And apparently they're all real or based on reality, right? The stories. He's a minister. And one of them was about a family who was on the train. And I think, again, this was a long time ago. Don't quote me specifically here, but from what I remember, it was a man and his kids, and the kids were running amok in this train car, and there were people who were being annoyed, and somebody called him out on it at some point because the kids were uncontrollable. He was just zoned out, like exhausted or whatever. And then the response brought on sympathy instead, because you find out that they had lost their mom, had passed. And there was this time period of to and from hospitals and illness, and then she passes, and this man is in his state of variables, not noticing. So yes, there are some bad parents, but yes, there are exhausted parents who are working 3 jobs, or someone who experienced a loss or something terrible. And I think, thank you, because you often wonder what would people say at my eulogy, right?
Yeah.
And that's all I want to do. I don't have anything to leave anybody, right? But I hope that my stories and
your wisdom, actually, for me.
Thank baby.
Yeah.
Just like to be fair, to weigh things out and to be fair with one another. And I think again, it comes down to those same few little things that was in his first big book about what you learn in kindergarten, and that'll make you a great human. So.
Well, that's why I think
we should tag him. I wonder if Robert Fulgham is on Instagram, because I talk about him so much.
I'm sure he is.
Come be a guest.
I'm sure he is.
But that's where that comes from. We all have those variables.
Yes.
We wake up on the wrong side of the bed. I'm not perfect, but if I'm quiet, that means I've got a lot of weight, and I put that out there, right? When people start, it's not you, it's definitely me. Just stay away till 7:15
But
p.m.
I think that's what makes you such a great manager too. Like that's because you.
What is this? A Mariana show?
You are, because you're very considerate, and
You're
of course
fair
on a
with
fair
everything.
but also on a psychological level. People respond to that. Because Mariana is a good manipulator in a good way, where she can diffuse a critical situation. She can make it better, definitely, like always better, because I think there are some critical moments when it comes down to it, when there is an issue, let's just say, but maybe there shouldn't be an issue, right? Or if there is an issue, not to make it worse, but make it better. What is the solution? How can we help? And in the end, knowing that it's not brain surgery. I mean, what we're doing here.
Well, I think for our stylists that are watching, I think every once in a while, everybody wants to get a client book, right? But salon. And the more people you have, the more negative reviews you get, the more negative response you get, because you've met more people. So the chances are going to be greater that you're not going to make everyone happy, right?
Yeah.
You may make 10 out of 10 people happy. You may make 900 out of 1,000 happy. There's going to be people. The more that you,
the percentage. As long as the percentage stays the same.
As long as the percentage is on the higher, right?
Right. So. Here's the thing, is that if there's an issue at your chair, throwing fuel onto a fire never works.
No.
So that's just common sense, and we have it. We all have common sense. If we just stop, breathe, listen, react. And by reacting in that situation, I just sit down, I get on the client's level literally. You don't want to stand over somebody, because I know how I feel. If I'm upset or I'm crying or I'm hurting and somebody's standing over me, it's like that dog whimpering with his tail between the legs. You don't want to put anyone in that situation. That's automatically no. Just remember how you have felt when people have stood over you, literally and figuratively. So you want to get on that person's level in all aspects, and just listen. And if they're attacking you, you let them know. I actually said the words in our prior location to a client. This is not the way we speak to anyone here, and I'm asking you please not to speak to any of my staff that way here.
Yes,
it doesn't help.
Respect.
What are you feeling?
What
can we do to rectify this? What can be done today? How much time do you have? And maybe hair can't tolerate what the person's wanting. Now, you need to be very thorough in your consultations, I think that alleviates a lot of it, which is what I push here. You know, make sure you take that time. We build in a lot of time. If you're rushed through a consultation, okay, all right, so you want this and you want that and you want to be red. Okay, let's go. I don't want to be orange. It's not orange. I don't want to be orange.
Yeah, and I also think it's good to bring somebody else into the conversation if you feel it's a good idea.
Yeah.
You know, where the client feels even better having like a team almost like.
We do that a few
Yes.
times every once in a while,
Like a
like
group
But that can
discussion.
backfire.
it can.
Because again,
If
you
it's too
don't,
much.
it's ganging up on somebody as well.
That's why on certain
Like the government.
certain circumstances
Like
where you just like
I can't vocalize
Yeah.
sometimes, and
Yeah.
like, is that where you're going to?
Yeah, if you
vocalize
need
or
to
just
help-
to diffuse like a moment.
Yes.
Where you bring somebody else in, just like to break the moment
Yeah.
a little bit. That can be very helpful. And we sense that, I think, sometimes. And I think it's just good to go over and just to say, so, oh yeah, I just heard you say you're going to do this, or you're going to, or this color, that sounds exciting. Just to make it a little bit more conversational, and just to don't make it so serious. Like, and also knowing that there are other people there that can also like have their input. The professional.
Sorry, the flag.
Our pet, our set pet.
Yeah, so I think that's a good idea, to.
Yes, but as I always say, if you are going to approach and if you are going to speak, then you better make sure it's coming from truth.
Of course.
Because you're not going to say, "Oh, I love your shirt," when you really hate their shirt. You're just trying to have an icebreaker.
Oh, it's very Mean Girls.
Then I've still never seen that. But yeah, you don't want to do that. You want to be authentic, right? So when you are looking to support a coworker or looking to support maybe you sense that the client is not, that the other staff member is not getting there, and you need to help both sides, and you want to interject something. You have to, if you've heard enough, you have to come from that place of truth. Otherwise, stay out of it, because you may be adding extra fuel instead. And let me tell you, out of all of the years I've been managing, again, since I was 15, and now I'm 50 something, I still don't always get it right, and I still walk away saying, I probably could have handled that better, differently, but I don't. But we are human, and again, if you come from truth, I think that's the best any of us can do.
Yeah.
As my mom
We're
would
gonna
say,
stumble.
do the best that you can.
But now too, when you do stumble, you also learn from it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely, because that sticks.
Yes.
I think as long as we can keep it balanced here, right, in a space like this, and everybody feels that we are helping each other and not working against
Intentions
each
there.
other.
Yes.
So that we are in unison, at least, we are here to keep the guests, of course, happy. So if the guest senses that we are not happy amongst ourselves, I think that's the worst.
Yes.
That's,
so we need to move on.
Well, this is great to lead into it, because it gives a basis to looking into the future, right?
Right. So what do you see in the future?
Well, I see a lot of bright things, because that's what I want to see. Everyone creates their own perceptions, like we're saying. But there's a lot of influences out there that can mold your perceptions. Biggest thing, though, you have to do it for yourself. And of course, this is coming to the end of the year, and we're coming to resolution time.
Yes.
And I don't like to say resolutions, because a lot of times negativity kind of comes to that word. So I would say lifestyle changes. You want to, if something's not working for you in that year, you want to reflect. Like she said, stop, think, and then act. And with that, you can change the way that you're going to go in the new year. So if you're wanting to either lose weight, or if you're wanting to be better in your craft, or you want to go on that new trip this year or something like that, you want to focus on the positive things to get you there. You don't really want to just react to things that are thrown into your obstacles, because it's not going to be an easy path. You're going to have obstacles to get to those places, and the biggest thing when you get to those obstacles is you want to go to negativity all the time. So my kind of message, I would say, is to, just kind of stop, as you're saying, look at it, push it aside, okay, and what is truly my real goal, and keep those blinders on to what your true goal is, and actually follow through.
And I think whenever you feel you're going to a negative place, if you remember to put everyone else first, not in an unhealthy way. I know everybody takes things and goes, oh my God, I can't believe, he said that or she said that. I'm not saying that. I do take care of myself. But put people first before you, and guess what that does? It totally distracts you from your own drama. You're helping someone else. Again, it's as good as a gift, man.
It actually helps your own drama too, in a way.
Yes. It helps you heal and push through tough moments by helping someone else push through a tough time a tough period in their lives. Resolutions, I've never done them. I'm still working on what I said though in 2016.
Yeah, that's right. I can go a few years back and we still have to work on those. But we work on something every day, every month, so we don't need a special day to do it. But some people do, and hey, if that works, that's great. I'm looking forward to our end of year celebration here, right? Which is going to be different this year because the end of the year for Midoma is on a Saturday, and that's the 29th.
Yep.
So we're going to be here all day, of course, working on clients till 6 p.m. And then we'll turn the music up and
have a dance party.
Like doing a playlist. We've got a disco ball.
And then we're going to let the year go out like that. Right.
And new beginnings, right?
New beginnings. And to make January 2nd's commercials of diet stuff not pain you so much, choose wisely over Christmas.
Yes. Don't
so
just
you can
accept
laugh at them. So you can laugh at them because you know they're coming. January 2nd, every diet.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's like,
as we're
get
saying,
beach ready or what?
Make your own perceptions of that, right? Don't let those commercials make you do the choice. You
be
do it because you want to do it.
Be you.
Be the trail.
Is that our new motto for the next year?
Yes.
Be you.
Be your own.
Be you.
Like
exactly.
We're not going to be here for the next 2 weeks. So
no.
we'll be back
I miss you already.
3 weeks. Yeah, that's a long time.
But I think we'll do some postings at least to maybe try to check in.
Yeah, of course.
And see what people would like to talk about. So please, if you do see our surveys or questions to ask of what topics, let us know, and we can start a new year with some good topics that you guys want to listen to as well.
Yeah, but I think it was a good start, our first 3 months, talking about different things and accomplishing
I think more like 4 months.
Changes.
Because I've almost been here for 5.
I know.
This year went fast.
Yeah.
So we'll think of some fun ideas, for everybody.
But write in. We want to. I mean, it can be about anything. We'll. I don't know.
Just
we'll
say
try
hi,
to hear you.
and we'll conversate with you maybe too as well.
Conversate.
We have a conversation. Yes, my brain just went blank right there.
I love that. Yes, please write in, and we shall conversate with you.
It's very proper.
Yeah,
yes.
we can come up with some new words in the new year too. I think
That's right. I know who else I want to give a shout out to. End of year. So we were out supporting our Bethany, who was a reception here a few years back, and I think she worked 2 days for me this year because I couldn't do the day or the full day or something.
You guys were traveling.
Yes, and she was like, I can come and hang out and don't worry, and I said, okay. So anyways, when my kids are here, everybody who's here is one of my kids. That's why they call me Ma, Midoma, I'm the Ma. She just started her own dance company. And we went to her launch, and I will have information on how you can help support her cause soon. Bethany, get on that, please. It's always tomorrow because she's got 19 jobs.
Seriously.
She's very busy.
Yes.
But her story is interesting. So maybe I can get her on here to be a guest and talk about what she's doing now. And her company is called Wild She Dances. Wild, W-I-L-D, She Dances. So I think that's on Instagram. You can look her up and maybe get bits and pieces from there. Tell her I talked about her.
A
3 years are ringing.
great brand new modern dance group. Right?
Yes.
Yep. And that was we got to see a little bit. They had a little demo on Sunday, and this was quite interesting. Just a cellist and
Yes.
and 3-4 dancers.
Yes.
A little number, a couple of minutes. But I want to see more. I'm very curious. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, and we've got to support, those us little guys.
Yes, the ones who have the dreams and are trying to push for it
Yes.
and hustle that.
I think
Let's support those people.
to tell stories through dance with movement. That's amazing.
Yes. So get out there, support people, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, then in the new year.
2019.
2019.
Wow.
Kind of like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Sounds strong.
It does
Okay.
sound strong.
So until then, yeah.
Sign us off.
Enjoy. We'll see you next year.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
2019. We can't wait.
Confetti Canyon.
Yeah, where is the confetti?